Charlotte Motor Speedway, the home of NASCAR, the home to a lot of drivers tonight, and the home to round number 3 of the AER playoffs. Sam Harrell on the pole next to Jamie Haynes. They decorate this 16 truck field with their high horsepower machines. A track everybody is familiar with, a track that not everybody is comfortable with, but it will challenge and test the will of these drivers for 100 laps. The pace car peels off and the playoffs continue. Round 3 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway is green. Sam Harrell leads lap number 1 from what was formerly known as Lowe's Motor Speedway. Jamie Haynes is in that second position. Tyler Bellinger sits in that third spot. Sam Taylor is in that fourth position. And last week's winner, Jeff Noe, in the TJ's Team Double 5, sits in fifth. So far, so good. All 16 trucks making it without incident. Canadian Tyler Tyone in the Coca-Cola machine, rounding out the rear end of the field. How about rookie Matt Mingo? Questions on whether or not the new guy would be able to hold his own, and he's doing just fine on the outside of Bob Mathis. Sam Harrell goes purple, 30.71 seconds. Sammy's got the fastest time of the race so far. If you've just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. 3 laps about to be completed. It's a Chevy Ford top 3. Sam Taylor in the 4th position in that snap-on machine just outside the podium. Let's ride along with one of the hometown drivers tonight. Canadian Tyler Tyone just went purple the lap previous, and he's done it again, 30.53 seconds. The Cornwall native catching up to Jorge Rincon, and the driver from Agua Dulce sitting 15th of 16 drivers right now, trying to catch up to Doug King in the Jack Daniels machine. Further on up through the field, Tyler Willard in that double 7 sits behind Michael Carter. Bob Mathis in the 2-9 trying to make his way through from the 8th position, but you can just tell that it's starting to get a little hectic out there. Drivers trying to pick their places and find where they can draft down that front straight. On the outside of Mathis, you've got Mike Carter in that number 6 car. Jeff Noe in that 55, TJ's Team machine. 30.67 last time around, and it looks like drivers are just trying to take this opportunity to get comfortable. At the front, Sam Harrell now challenged for the lead. The double 8 of Tyler Bellinger has 2 wins this season. He's to the inside of that 43 STP machine, and he puts his Celtics Ford on the front position. The 43 in second, and the 5-3 sitting in third. Sam Taylor still in that 4th spot. Last time around, Michael Carter and Tyler Willard both going green, running personal bests. There are the points headed into this 3rd round in the playoffs. Right at the top of the tree, Tristan Bailey from Carrier, Mississippi, not present in tonight's lineup. He's going to have to take provisional points, and it's going to shake up next week's race. The championship semifinal from the Kansas Speedway next Monday night, 8:30, right here, Rick James TV. Tristan Bailey with 7 wins this season We'll have to tune those points tonight and see just where he'll need to finish a week from now. But the championship is more than set up for a grandstand finish. Even the semifinal is set up for something fantastic. And you just can't miss one of these playoff races. It's been scintillating racing over the last 17 weeks. How about Dylan Picklesmeyer with a scintillating pass on the outside of Matt Mingo? He quenches his thirst for the 9th position. A blink from that 12 machine. Michael Carter is next in 8th. On the outside of Bob Mathis, Picklesmeyer is on the move in a hurry. 10 laps are underway now, and it's still incredibly tight racing. Drivers being respectful of each other's space so far. Mingo in the 59, cutting off Tyler Willard out of 4, but Willard digs deep down the front straight. Tries to get to the inside of the Liquid Death Machine. And how about the 89 of Charlie Mosley Jr.? He's sitting in 13th, trying to hold off Doug King. Rookie Matt Mingo doing his best to stay in the top 11, but Waylon Turner thinks otherwise. Further up ahead, Sam Taylor with some followers, but a bit closer than Taylor might want. Sammy sitting in 4th. He's got Jeff No in the double 5 behind him. No running a part-time schedule, but getting the W last week at the Iowa Speedway. Pretty much shocking just about everybody, but Jeff knows how to get it done. Running that part-time schedule in 21st in the points officially, but still with 1 win in the 15 races we've run so far. 14 completed. This would be the 15th, I think? Something like that. I'm not sure. But Sam Taylor holds off Jeff No in that double 5. Adam Boughton with some space to himself. 0.8 of a second, if you could believe it or not, is the biggest gap on the track right now. Look at Charlie Mosley Jr., the Alabama native, who saw another Alabama driver win Sunday night. Talking about Bubba Wallace winning at Kansas. Wallace, a native of Mobile, Alabama, just like Charlie Mosley Jr. Mosley crosses the line into the 11th position. He's gained a spot since he started this race. Tyler Bellinger finds himself challenged. Samuel L. Harrell now to the inside of Bellinger. Jamie Haynes on the outside, and this double wide action is inching the drivers behind them closer still. Jeff No now has a run on Sam Taylor to the inside. That's the double 5. Moving to the inside of the 1, but no, you see he puts 2 tires under that blue line. Upsets the balance of the truck, and there's just no grip on that apron. It shoots him right back up the racetrack. And now Adam Boughton is closer to Jeff No than Jeff No is to Sam Taylor. At the front, Tyler Bellinger stays in the lead. Jamie Haynes on the inside of that double 8, and it would be sweet if that 5-3 could move his truck up to the front. He's giving it a shot, but Bellinger with the hard D on the outside trying to box out his position in first. Not enough grip for that double 8. Coming out of that second corner, they're going to drag race for the lead. Jamie Haynes has the inside. And he's cleared him. Haynes to the lead in the 5-3, and he puts his M&M's Chevrolet at the front. Tyler Bellinger in the Boston Celtics F-150 will not take that lightly, though. Uses a good run to run on the outside of turn number 1. Sam Harrell just watching all of this from the safety of his 43. Sam Taylor on the inside of Bob Mathis. This is the fight for the 6th position. Mathis in 6th, Taylor in 7th. And Sam Taylor, he's lost 4 places since this race started. Mike Carter in the 14th position. He's about to give up a spot to Canadian Tyler Taillon. That Coca-Cola machine going all the way to the back, and let's see how far to the front he can get. He's got a fender to the inside of the Mahindra Ford, and that Coke Toyota bouncing off that blue line in the apron. You see it just moves him up the middle of the racetrack, and no grip for the 80 machine. Tyler Willard in the 777. He's got a bumper full of Charlie Mosley, the 89 gear wrench Silverado. I don't know if he's trying to bump draft through turn 3 or what that was, but they're both benefiting from this. Willard in 9th, Mosley in 10th, and they're half a second ahead of Doug King. Let's see if the 89 goes for the move one more time. Mosley on the outside, trying to use a run, maybe a side draft off of turn number 4. Mosley making the move for 9th, but will he get it to stick? He's got to clear that 777, and he's just not got enough room, but now he does. Willard backing off on the inside line, and Charlie Mosley able to get into the 9th position, the Alabama driver. One spot away from the fringes of the top 10, where Tyler Willard now has a mirror full of Doug King. And look who it is. It's Jorge Rincon in the 2.8 Good Wrench Silverado. That says Good Wiser, not Good Wrench. Read that more carefully. It's funny, though. Rincon sitting in 12th, 3 spots gained since the race started. That's Doug King in the 1.6 Jack Daniels machine. At the front, Jamie Haynes has the biggest lead of the race thus far, 1.1 seconds back to Tyler Bellinger. Look at Jeff Noe in the 3rd position. He's trying to lead a 2-man train on the inside of Sam Harrell. The STP Silverado sat on the pole, and so far slipping back through the running order. 24 laps underway from iRacing's Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I don't know if Sam Harrell is trying to conserve resources or if Harrell is just losing the grip after running hard for the first 20 or so laps. Tyler Bellinger also possibly off the pace. Jamie Haynes sitting in the top 3 for the majority of this first stint, but Jamie now with a 1.4 second lead ahead of the rest of the competition, and this is what it looks like. Bellinger on the outside of Noe, and look at last week's winner now on the inside. The Celtics Ford trying to hold off that TJ's Team Chevrolet, and they'll drag race down the back. Out of that 4th corner, Jeff Noe looks like he's going to benefit the most. Tyler Bellinger now on the outside trying to get some sort of run up the middle. The 888 has grip, but will he pull it off? Is it torturing the tires at this stage in the race? Track Facts predicting these trucks will be able to go about 60 to... Well, you know what? Those aren't even the right Track Facts. That's my mistake. We got to get that fixed. That's for last week's race at Iowa. And Sam Harrell on the way in, and Sam possibly starting the pit stop strategy, the green flag pit stops. Apologies for those Track Facts. We'll have those fixed as soon as we can. Harrell in that 43 will be the first taker down pit road. Jamie Haynes leading by almost 2 seconds into that 3rd corner. Jeff Noe in that 2nd position, and Tyler Bellinger, the lone Ford, on the podium. But how about Adam Boughton, who's gained a couple of places from the beginning of tonight's race? The number 94 Mountain Dew Tundra, the highest ranked Toyota so far, and knocking on the door for top 3. line 4 on the inside of Tyler Bellinger. He's got the grit, but will he make it last? Boughton right to the inside of the double 8. Possibly putting the tires that he has saved up until this point to good use. He sits half a second off of Jeff No, and so far Sam Harrell, the only driver to come in. He does so on lap 26. Caution free so far. And if you've tuned in recently, you have not missed any crashes. Doug King goes off the racetrack, almost won here. Tyler Willard trying to come back on. Willard spins, but he's off the racing line. We stay green. Doug King in the 1-6, still going forward. Tyler Willard back on the racing surface, spins it. He's into the wall, and it looks like he's gotten stuck into the wall. Still green. Jamie Haynes, your race leader, as he comes down. Oh, is he going to hit Willard? And yellow flag is out as Tyler Willard is on the racing surface, pinned against the wall. No option but for Willard to tow the truck. And the caution comes out. Willard does tow that truck. Jamie Haynes, thankfully, doesn't hit the pinned Tyler Willard. Let's see what happened with Doug King and Tyler Willard out of turn number 4. Oof. Some hard contact from the 1-6. See if we can have another look. And have a listen here. Tyler Willard's just going to... It just sounds like he stamps on the gas too hard, and I think you're seeing just a glitch in iRacing. Willard just gets pinned into the wall, and watch this, because here comes leader Jamie Haynes. And then the yellow flag comes out, so we do avoid any other accidents. Tyler Willard, Doug King making some contact there out of turn number 4. Hopefully it's nothing otherwise malicious, but that's going to bring out the first caution. Sam Harrell already pitting on lap 26. We'll see if he decides to come in. He will not. He will get his lap back, and he'll be on the same footing as the rest of these drivers when we come back for more racing. Fans, don't go anywhere. You're watching the AER Trucks Playoffs, round number 3 of these playoffs. From iRacing's Charlotte Motor Speedway, we'll be back in 90 seconds. Virginian Jamie Haynes leads the race in his 5.3 M&M's machine. He just got tires and fuel under that pit stop. Let's see if he's got a chance to get a dub. Jamie Haynes, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're leading this race right now in your, as always, fashionable 5.3 M&M's Silverado. A bit lucky, you might say, with that yellow flag coming out. Everybody now on even footing. Even Sam Harrell getting his lap back and getting fresh tires as well. Drivers getting 4 tires tonight, and the fuel window about 55 to 60 laps. But how important are the tires going to be here? Does it matter, or is it just about having even a good drafting partner? What's the secret here?
No, it's absolutely about saving tires. You can burn up your tires real fast. That's why I just kind of rode behind Belonger and Sammy that first like 15 or so laps, just letting them just kind of riding along, because I know I love Charlotte. I live 5 minutes from here, so I have such a feel for this track. I know how hard to push it.
A lot of drivers from the Charlotte area, a lot of hometown anticipation in tonight's race. That being said, the most important question of the evening, Jamie Haynes, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Not my Cowboys.
We know that, Jamie, but Jamie, be serious. Come on, Jamie. Of course not.
Dude, I don't know. It's week 1.
Well,
ask me that one about 10 weeks from now.
Well, you know what? I will. 10 weeks from now, we'll have a broadcast, and I'll ask you who's going to win. But we definitely know it's not the Cowboys, and we know it's not my Dolphins, man. But you can score a win tonight. You could get one more win tonight than the Cowboys have had all season. So don't count on the Cowboys. Count on Jamie Haynes, buddy. Keep the shiny side up. Hopefully we see you at the end. My man Jamie has control of the field. Coming to the green flag. It's going to be the 5-3 and the 9-4 decorating the front row. It's a Chevrolet Toyota share of the honors. 34 laps about to be completed. Green flag is in the air, and we're going to get this party started one more time. Turn your screens up a little bit. This is going to be a cool sound. We're going to restart. 35 laps underway. Let's go racing. Jamie Haynes leading the first lap after the first restart. He's got control with Tyler Bellinger in that second position. Adam Boughton in third. It's a Chevy, Ford, Toyota top 3. 37 laps underway from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Round 3 in the playoffs, and here's another flash at those points one more time. One other driver who's not present tonight, Jason Fensler. What does that mean for Tyler Bellinger, Sammy Harrell, Jamie Haynes, and the rest? Bob Mathis sits in 4th. Adam Boughton running 3rd in this race. How about Waylon Turner in 12th? He's got to pick it up, but good news for that 7-8. There's still plenty of race to go. Special Ed said, is today a cut? Not sure what you mean, Ed. But Ed, a Panthers fan himself, I guess, saying not the Panthers. We'll see a lot of North Carolinians believing in their Panthers, but we'll see what the Panthers can do this season. Fans in the chat, just tell me if you're watching right now, if you're on Twitch, just type in the Twitch chat or the YouTube chat who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. It's week 1. We can already make these predictions, right? 2x2 for the lead. Jamie Haynes holds off Bob Mathis on the outside. Tyler Bellinger on the inside line. Trucks without that yellow banner are not necessarily out of the playoffs. The 5-3 of Jamie Haynes in these playoffs. So is the 2-9 of Bob Mathis. These are the 8 drivers in the playoffs tonight. The top 2 on that list, Tristan Bailey and Jason Fensler, not registered in the race tonight as Bob Mathis goes for the lead. Can he make this one stick? The 2-9 on the top side comes into this race tied for 5th in the points. Obviously, as you see him there, but in this non-eliminatory race, we should say. He's got a foot up. 60 laps to go. Still plenty of race to go. Dylan Picklesmeyer in that second position. Sam Harrell goes purple, 30.51 seconds. The South Carolinian has run the fastest lap of this race. Roberto Mathis in that 2.9, running his personal best on lap 40. "41 laps complete from Charlotte. Dylan Picklesmeyer is up 11 places from where he started this race. The 1-2 body armor Ford with a couple of blinks here or there. He sits just outside the playoffs, being eliminated last week at Iowa. And now he's got nothing to lose. So the 1-2 Ford comes in almost with a new reason to win. It's a breath of fresh air having nothing to lose. The 1-2 still drafting diligently behind the 2.9. The draft does play a little bit of a factor down the back straight and the front straight. We'll see who uses it best tonight. It's a Ford, Chevrolet, top three. Roberto Mathis, Dylan Picklesmeyer, Jamie Haynes running 1-2-3. 2.9 ahead of that 1-2. Tyler Bellinger in fourth. Adam Boughton still the highest ranked Toyota thus far. Sam Harrell running in 10th. Jeff Noe in 12th. Tyler Willard at the back end, 3 laps off the pace. Mathis leading by less than 0.2 of a second. Picklesmeyer using all of the racetrack to try and get around the 2.9, or is he just applying the pressure, trying to force a mistake? How about Sam Harrell making his way through the field? He's to the inside of Sam Taylor in the Snap-on Chevrolet. The number 6 Mahindra Ford belongs to Mike Carter. The South Carolinian trying to get into that top 9. Sam Taylor loses a little bit of control out of turn number 2. But stays just ahead of that 4-3. Harrell now edging the 1 through 3 and 4. The STP Chevrolet with the upper hand. And it is a dead heat at the start-finish line, separated by 0.01 of a second. Jorge Rincon doing incredibly well. He sits 7th in the running order. He's gained 8 places. He, like everybody else, pitting under this last caution. Bob Mathis in the 2.9 still leading and holding off Picklesmeyer, but it's Jamie Haynes now getting impatient. He, Tyler Bellinger, and Adam Boughton now making their way further up through this field. And will they move to the inside? Jamie Haynes says, yes, I'm going to move to the inside. The M&M's Chevrolet finding moonlight to the inside of the body armor Ford. They're going to drag race for the lead. The 2.9 running away. Half a second, now the advantage from Bob Mathis back to Jamie Haynes. Picklesmeyer with a big blink on the top side. Look at everybody shift to the left. They don't want to be caught up in any connectivity issues from that 1-2. Bellinger up the inside line. He's got the draft from the 5-3. The 1-2 of Picklesmeyer has the speed out of 4, but he just doesn't have the momentum. Charlie Mosley Jr. now looks to catch some of that tailwind from the 94 of Adam Boughton. He's going to bring his gear wrench Chevrolet to the inside line. Picklesmeyer holding him off, and Mosley can't advance. He's going to be stopped in the 6th position. Dylan Picklesmeyer rounding out that top 5. Roberto Mathis on the top side, while Jamie Haynes moves to the inside of the 2.9, and the time has come for the 5-3 to challenge for the lead. Special Ed cheering 1,000 bits. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate you. Like Mama Vols, Ed has been here through most, if not every last one of these broadcasts, man. I gotta shout out my man Special Ed. Thank you so much for tuning in and constantly getting involved. I appreciate you, buddy. Ed, let us know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. So we know we've ruled out the Dolphins, we've ruled out the Panthers, and we've ruled out the Cowboys. Thank you. No, Ed, don't thank me, man. This is a labor of love for me. This is a fun little passion. Ed, you're the man, buddy. Appreciate you. So we're halfway. Jamie Haynes leading Tyler Bellinger, Adam Boughton in the bronze medal position. Roberto Mathis in fourth. He's got a half-second gap back to Charlie Mosley Jr., the Alabama driver, sitting 0.3 of a second ahead of Dylan Picklesmeyer, while Sam Harrell really tunes up the octane, that 43 STP Chevrolet, to the inside of Jorge Rincon. This the battle for the 7th position. Harrell making it look easy, but Rincon did not get this far up through the field, taking it lightly. He will put up a fight in that Earnhardt-inspired livery that, funny enough, says Goodweiser on the side. Have a look. The thing says Goodweiser on the side. I gotta ask him if he painted that himself or if he just got the idea from somewhere. But that's pretty funny. Shout out Jorge for giving us a laugh. You gotta appreciate that. Special Ed says tonight my boy Jamie is bringing it home, but he's got to deal with Bellinger trying to make it happen around the outside. The 88 Boston Celtics Ford in a dead heat with the M&M's Chevrolet, drag racing down the front straight for the lead. That's 6/100ths of a second. 46 laps to go next time by. Haynes and Bellinger 1-2, but now Adam Boughton wants to play also. They've left Bobby Mathis in the dust by half a second. And look at Alabama's Charlie Mosley Jr. He's sitting in 5th, and he's trying to get up to the front. Close battles all over the place. Douglas King now to the inside of Samuel Taylor. And this is the battle for a spot in the top 10, while Samuel Harrell has a bit of a jam to deal with. The 43 behind the 1-2. He finds Moonlight on the inside of that Ford, and he's following Rincon up the running order. Jamie Haynes still leads, but look out for the 89 of Charlie Mosley, the 28 of Jorge Rincon, and of course, you've got to give it up to the 4-3 of Sam Harrell, who's on the inside, and look at this contact here. Sam Harrell getting to the inside of Dylan Picklesmeyer, and the 12 picking up a heavy scratch on the left-hand side. Have a look. Was it netcode between these two that just forced them to touch? See if we can have one more look at Sam Harrell making that pass. Sorry about that. You see the 12 just jerks to the left. So far, so good. Dylan Picklesmeyer dropping down into 10th. Sam Taylor now around the outside. Look at Doug King make the move to the inside. Jeff No occupies the top lane out of turn number 1. He's going to attempt to side draft that 1-2 out of that second corner. Will he make the move to the inside of Sam Taylor using that run? How about Jeff No getting clever with the pass? No working his way up to 9th. Have a look at this. No on the outside will make the move around. He's going to snake through the 1-2 and the 1. Talk about calling it close. But Jeff No knows what he's doing. And does Adam Boughton know what he's doing? It looks like it. Tyler Bellinger in second will make way for the Mountain Dew Kickstart Toyota Tundra. It's a Chevrolet Toyota Ford top 3 coming to 62 laps to go. Bellinger has made good use of the top side, but not able to hold off many passes. See the 94 of Boughton just putting his tires on that blue line, possibly entering that corner with too much vigor, too much excitement, and the 94 scoops up the racetrack just a bit. It upsets these trucks. There's just no grip on that painted blue line, no grip on the apron beneath it, and drivers losing control and having to back out of the throttle when their truck hits that apron. Jamie Haynes' lead, 0.7 of a second across the line over the last 5 laps. Tyler Bellinger has been getting closer and closer to Jamie Haynes, coming to 40 laps to go. Will Haynes be able to hold off the oncoming charge from Tyler Bellinger? What does Adam Boughton have to say about all of this? Doug King now trying to make it work on the outside of Sam Taylor, but the number 1 Snap-on truck trying to hold on. Bama Trama just subscribes with Prime. Mama Vols, one of my favorites. Thank you so much, Mama. I appreciate you so much. Just like Special Ed, Mama Vols is one of those fans of Rick James TV that she's in every last stream. Definitely one of the biggest fans, if not the biggest fan of Rick James TV. So once again, shout out Special Ed and shout out Mama Vols for making it all happen. Bellinger to the inside of Adam Boughton, and he stays in that second position. Adam Boughton trying to find some space around that double 8, but these trucks have not pitted for 30 laps. It's their longest run thus far. And the track facts telling you that these trucks can go about 60 laps on a fuel run. But will that be the case? Will they come in for tires? Jamie Haynes under that first caution telling us that tires are going to matter more than anything. Sam Taylor having to use more of those Goodyears, defending his 10th position unsuccessfully thus far. Doug King on the inside in his Jack Daniels Chevrolet gets a perfect entrance into turn number 1. Using the low line, will he slide high out of 2? He does. Sam Taylor with nowhere to go, and Doug King slams the door out of the second corner. He now has 10th, all to himself. Tyler Bellinger on the outside of Adam Boughton. Tyler Tyone falls off the racetrack in the Coca-Cola machine. Let's see what happened to him. Strikes the wall outside of turn number 4. And he mows a little bit of the lawn, but he'll come back on to the track. Sam Harrell is in once again, and the last time Sam Harrell came down pit road, we saw a caution 5 laps later. Will it be the same omen? Jamie Haynes leading by 1.4 seconds. Tyler Bellinger slides his way into pit road, but he does not hit a thing. Check this out. How about that for a little bit of a drift on the way into pit road? Sam Taylor is also in. Dylan Picklesmeyer is in. These drivers pitting with 35 laps left. Jamie Haynes with a 1.5 second lead to Adam Boughton. Will this open the floodgates for the race leader? Still no one deciding to come down pit road. Jeff No, who won last week with pit strategy. What's he got cooking under the hood of that double 5? No up to 5th under the green flag cycle. Roberto Mathis also decides he's going to come down for tires and for fuel. Once again, these are the points. If you don't know, it's race 3 of 5 in the AER playoffs. Tristan Bailey and Jason Fensler not registered for the race tonight. So it's going to be all down to their performance next week at the Kansas Speedway. We'll see if they move on to the 4-man final. 4 trucks move on. 4 trucks don't make the cut, and their championship hopes are over. Will it be your driver that moves on to that final 2 weeks from tonight in Phoenix? The only way to find out is to stay tuned. And if you subscribe to Rick James TV with Amazon Prime like Mama Vols just did, you'll get that free subscription and ad-free racing right here on Rick James TV. Jeff No moves into 4th as Adam Boughton decides to come down pit road. Doug King will move into 5th. 6th, pardon me. Waylon Turner's in 7th. Michael Carter right now holding on to the 5th position. And the Pennsylvania native will come down for tires and fuel. He's gone purple again, talking about the 4-3. Samuel Harrell, fastest lap once again, 30.49 seconds, and the South Carolinian has turned on the jets. Caution is out for Dylan Picklesmeyer crashing, and it's not a nice way to bring out that caution for all the drivers that already pitted. Picklesmeyer slowly crawling back onto the banking, and that's just the pace car, thankfully. Everybody, first through ninth on the scoring pylon on the left-hand side of your screen, did not come down pit road. Adam Bodden all the way down to Dylan Picklesmeyer did come down pit road. Special Ed saying the pace car scared you. Yeah, that pace car scared the daylights out of me. Let's see what happened. I thought it was another truck. I thought it was going to be a terrible crash. Let's see what happened to Dylan Picklesmeyer. Matt Mingo just getting into the 12. What in the world happened here? We have to look on board that 5.9. Just looks like Mingo just went in way too hot. Let's have another look. One more angle. Mingo just always going up the racetrack and nowhere for Dylan Picklesmeyer to go, and that brings out the second caution of the race. We're going to restart inside the final 30 laps. It's only our second caution, and all of these drivers will have, as near as makes no difference, brand new tires. Next week, we make the cutoff for the final 4 trucks. We'll see who has the privilege of racing in the final, but until we get to that semi-final next week, we've got to finish tonight. We're going to restart inside the final 30 laps. Jamie Haynes being scored as your race leader. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with race 3 of 5 in the AER playoffs in 90 seconds. Mobile, Alabama's Charlie Mosley Jr. will be in the silver medal position when we start one more time. Charlie Mosley, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy.
Yesterday, Mobile, Alabama's Bubba Wallace won at Kansas. What can Mobile, Alabama's Charlie Mosley Jr. do tonight? You're overdue for a win, Charlie. What are the odds you can get that W tonight?
That's exactly telling Jamie a while ago. I was like, if Bubba can win one, I can win one tonight. So hopefully I'll be there right there. So we're going to see what we got here.
You got to dig deep and use some of that Alabama Crimson Tide power. We know you love the your beloved Crimson Tide. Besides Jamie Haynes, who's going to be trouble, and is it going to take a pass on the inside or outside to win?
It's going to take another teammate of mine is going to be Jeff No back there. Man, it's hard to call. I think that bottom line's just got, that's where you want to be at right now. Got a lot of grip on the bottom.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Charlie?
We're going to go with the Saints, man. Got to be something close to Alabama.
Who dey? All right, buddy. Shiny side up. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
We're going to let Charlie get to work, and we're going to get to work as well. 28 laps to go. Everybody on fresh tires. Jamie Haynes once again with control of the field. Green flag is out. Let's go racing at Charlotte. Charlie Mosley Jr. sitting in third to the inside of Jorge Rincon. Will they make contact? They won't make contact, mercifully. But into turns 1 and 2, Rincon taking the high side. Mosley in the 89 trying to make some sort of move on the inside. 5-3 has the advantage, and they're drag racing for the lead. Rincon edging the 5-3 of Haynes. The native of Agua Dulce trying to make something happen. Doug King falling back through the field. He hits the wall. Everybody scattering around the 1-6 Jack Daniels machine. Sam Taylor goes purple, 30.40 seconds. Sam Harrell with heavy damage on the front end of that 43 machine. Matt Mingo fell off the racetrack earlier. We stay green. 25 to go this time. This is Adam Boughton getting into the back end of Matt Mingo. Not sure what in the world happened there. Looks like Mingo may have already been loose. Taylor went purple last lap. Doesn't do it again, but he still has the fastest revolution. 30 and 4/10 of a second at the front. Jamie Haynes trying to hold off Jorge Rincon, side drafting off of each other, and maybe, just maybe, some bump drafting courtesy of Tyler Bellinger in the top lane. 24 to go this time. Tyler Bellinger, 2 wins this season. Jamie Haynes, many second place finishes. No wins yet. Jorge Rincon, an average finish of 9th this season, an average start of 14th. He runs 17th in the points standings, winless this season. Charlie Mosley, winless this season. Will it be a brand new winner this week? Will it be the same old? We've got 23 laps to find out. Rincon leads. Bellinger on the outside. Jamie Haynes on the bottom line. He's got Charlie Mosley behind him. Jeff No is in tow. Look at Doug King and Waylon Turner. Side by side and playing a little bit of push and shove. Tyler Bellinger, meanwhile, darts to the inside of Rincon. Will the 2-8 try the crossover out of 4? No, he's going to look high. Rincon, will he be able to side draft down the front straight? Bellinger to the lead, and he makes it stick, or does he? Rincon top side, and now Bellinger, your new leader. Ed in the chat says Charlie and Jeff will push Jamie. Charlie in that 89, now behind the 5-3 of Jamie. Jeff No sitting in 5th, right where he started this race. Bellinger 0.2 of a second, and now getting some space between himself and Rincon. How about Canadian Tyler Tyone, the lone Canadian in tonight's race? All the way from Cornwall on the inside of North Carolina, Sam Taylor, this for 9th. Tyone just can't keep it to himself. Sam Taylor now starting to find some legs beneath him. Jamie Haynes, 2/10 ahead of Charlie Mosley Jr. It's 2-0 to go next time. 1-9 at the line. Jorge Rincon up 13 places from where he started this race. By far our hardest charger, and it looks like he could wind up with a well-deserved podium, but still so much can happen in this third round of the playoffs. Tyler Tyone getting around Sam Taylor, now working on Sam Harrell. Mosley Jr. all over the back bumper of Stewart, Virginia's Jamie Haynes. A native of Virginia, he does say he lives 5 minutes away from the racetrack. So Jamie, you can definitely know that tracks like this, not only is it quite literally in his backyard, but it is the home of NASCAR. There's so many drivers in this series, so many drivers on iRacing, so many drivers, period, that have such an affinity for this racetrack. Jamie Haynes being one of them, and he's going to make the most of it while he can. Tyler Bellinger looks beyond 6/10 in the distance, while Haynes goes to the inside of Jorge Rincon. Has the magic gone for Rincon on those tires? Has he worn them too hard? Because Haynes is on the move, just showing amounts of more grip than Rincon, headed out of the corner. Haynes in the 5-3 moves to the inside. Mosley Jr. in the 89, hanging back to see which line's going to move, and it's going to be the inside line of Jamie Haynes. He's got second place. Harrell on the outside of Tyler Tyone, this for 8th. Charlie Mosley Jr. now down the backside of the racetrack, goes to the inside of Jorge Rincon, this for 3rd. Tyler Bellinger with a 7/10 of a second gap. He's got 2 wins to himself, and he wants to complete this hat trick and put 1 foot in the final. 15 laps remain at Charlotte. Jeff No on the inside of Rincon, and it looks like Jorge may just need another caution to pick himself up, or is he saving his tires for a possible late race dash? No, on the inside, really getting up to that 28, trying to pack all the air down on the 2.8. Side draft around him. No, does it successfully, but will he take a shot at Mosley? 14 laps left. Lucky number 13 laps remain at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you just tuned in, it's been an eventful race. Only 2 cautions to speak of in the 87 laps we've run so far, but plenty of green flag action, including this. Stewart, Virginia's Jamie Haynes with no wins this season. He says it's his favorite track. It's his hometown track. He lives within walking distance to it, and he may have just planted his flag in that North Carolina soil. A dozen laps remain, and your new leader is Jamie Haynes with a mirror full of Tyler Bellinger in his Boston Celtics Ford. Bellinger wide, he smacks the wall out of turn number 2. Charlie Mosley goes to the inside with Jeff No behind him, and a big change in position. Bellinger gives up the lead. He gives up 2nd and 3rd, and now has to watch the race for the win from 4th. Watch this. This is the lap prior. And it looks like there's when Bellinger slapped the wall. Or if he didn't make contact, there goes Charlie Mosley Jr. Big crash. Mosley hilariously flying across the racetrack. The 89 bounces back down on the left sides. What in the world happened to Charlie Mosley Jr.? Caution is out, and we will restart this third round of the playoffs inside the final 10 laps. Just as we were watching, this is what we were watching while we missed that action. And let's stay with them for the entire rest of the lap. Watch this, because Jeff No and Charlie Mosley Jr. are going to make contact. There's No playing it so close to the inside of Mosley Jr. Mosley Jr. just trying to possibly side draft off of No, and this is where they're going to come together. No just drifts right into the 89. Wow. That was pretty funny. But let's have another look. Jeff No just going right into the 89 there. And watch the hands on the 5.5. You're riding with No. Have a look at this. Well, it's not a very good, try this. Just looks like they were both going for the same entrance there. And, man, it looks like they were just going for the same piece of racetrack, and it just did not end up in their favor. Let's ride along with Jeff No, not Jeff No, I'm sorry. Let's ride along with Charlie Mosley Jr. And hold on for the spin cycle. Enough to make you dizzy. These are the points. One more look before we finish up ceremonies tonight. That's what the points are headed into this third round of 5. Next week is the cutoff for the final. Drivers outside of 4th will not participate in that final. Tristan Bailey and Jason Fensler, the top 2 names on that list, not in tonight's race. Tyler Bellinger, 3rd in points, sits 3rd in the race. Sammy Harrell currently running in 7th, and right now it's about damage control for the South Carolinian. Jamie Haynes leading the way. Roberto Mathis running 10th in the race so far. Adam Boughton is 8th, and Waylon Turner finds himself in the 5th position. Next week is going to be at Kansas, and it's going to be insane. Jamie Haynes sits ahead of Jeff No. Let's grab a quick word with Jeff before we restart. Jeff, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
What's up, Rick?
Hey, buddy, you're leading this race. Even Nick Goen is in the chat, and he says, wow. Ed said, yikes at that last crash, man. It just looked like both of you were going for the same piece of racetrack.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened, man. Of course, you got the replay. I told Charlie I felt like I was going straight, but he said on the replay, looked like I just came up into him a little bit, so... I hate being wrecked. I despise it, and on the flip side, I hate causing wrecks. So if I'm the one that caused that, I'm pretty pissed about it, Rick.
We don't make judgments, Jeff. We just show the pictures. But we're gonna restart here with 6 laps to go. You're going to be sitting in 2nd place. You won the race last week, Jeff. You're running on a part-time schedule, and it seems like when you've got the bit between your teeth, you are the horse that can go the distance. What's it going to take to beat Jamie Haynes? And again, on a part-time schedule, Jeff, get your 2nd victory?
I don't know, Rick. I have a very good long-run truck there. That long first run. I was running about half a tenth quicker than Jamie. Those last 4 or 5 laps. I don't know if I got anything for him here off the rip, man, but we're going to send it, and hope I don't kill anybody else.
The other part-timer with an incredible win record is Nick Goen. He's in the chat, and he knows a thing or two about getting those part-time wins. He's got 2 dubs to his name. Maybe you can score another gold medal tonight. But the most important question that we're asking everybody tonight, Jeff, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, after the first week, dude, definitely got to think it's going to come from the AFC between the Bills and the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill, man. They look like a well-oiled machine. Bills, freaking... you know, Josh Allen's got a freaking cannon. Stephon Diggs. I mean, they freaking whooped up on the Rams, who's the defending Super Bowl champion. So I think it'll be the Bills, though, out of those 2.
We'll see what Buffalo can do. We're going to see what you can do over these next 6 laps, Jeff. Have fun. Best of luck, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
So, Jeff, we'll get back to work on the inside of Jamie Haynes. It will be 6 laps to go when we restart this race. 5-3 with control for this restart and every restart tonight. Getting a great fender ahead of the double 5. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Crash out of turn number 2. There goes Sam Harrell sliding down the back straight, but he's made it. What a save from the 43. We're still green. Jamie Haynes leading the way by 0.3 of a second. Caution is out. Caution is out. Coming to 5 laps to go. Tyler Willard goes off the racetrack, and there is the yellow. Adam Boughton, one of the playoff contenders tonight, frustrated at the double 7, just trying to escape that collection of race trucks. And Boughton now behind the 8 ball, headed into Kansas next week. Let's have a look at Sam just after the green flag here. Keep your eye on that 43. Look at that, 3 wide into turn number 3, and you know this isn't going to end well. Oh, the 7-8 of Waylon Turner. Not having fun with that one. Have another look. And Turner just getting loose. Not able to keep the strength and the temp and the grip in those tires. And there is Adam Boughton and Tyler Tyone making contact into turn number 3. It looks like the Canadian also had something to do with this. Let's have a look at them. Keep your eyes on the bright red truck in the middle. Oh, the 1-6 of Doug King trying to stay off the wall. Maybe Tyone's trying to avoid him, and then no space there for Adam Boughton. Have another look. Just 4 wide almost at that point, and then the one of Sam Taylor gets in there. There's just nothing you can do. One final look at that crash. Yep, 4 wide into turn number 3. It was never going to work. Adam Boughton goes for a less violent spin than Charlie Mosley Jr. So the caution is out for the 4th time. Jamie Haynes with control of the field. Jeff Noah is in 2nd. Tyler Bellinger is in the 3rd position. Let's ask New Hampshire's Tyler Bellinger about his truck this evening. TB, Rick James, you got me?
Yeah, got you.
You're sitting in 3rd right now. You're going to be restarting with 2 laps to go. What do you have left in that Boston Celtics Ford?
It's getting up to speed for sure. I've been real fast all night, but if Jeff No gets another restart like that, it's not going to work out for me. Even if he gets a good one, it's going to be really hard because it's only 2 laps. But I was trying to get my nose under him before that caution came out, and he threw a real heavy block. I about dumped him. If I could have made that, then I would have had a few laps to catch Jamie. But now Jamie just needs a clean restart. He's got this in the bag. But I'll take a good points today.
Playoffs in the back of your mind, or are you going to go for the W if it sits in front of you?
I'm going for the W if it sits in front of me.
Keep the fireworks to a minimum, Tyler.
I'll always do it clean.
The most important question of the evening we're going to ask you, TB. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm a Packers fan, but I know that ain't going to happen. Buffalo Bills, they're looking good. I'd like to see Josh Allen get it done.
You're the second person to say Bills, so we'll see what happens over the next 16 weeks. But for you, we're going to see what happens over the next 3 miles when we get the green flag. Keep the shiny side up for me, Tyler. Best of luck, my friend.
Thanks, man.
So Bellinger will get back to work in his double 8. Jamie Haynes, once again, will have control of the field. We're going to take a short break. We're not going anywhere. No ads this time, but we are going to take a short break while we wait for these cars to go around one more time. Fans, don't go anywhere. It's going to be a green-white checkered finish in this quarter-final of the AER Trucks Series. No elimination tonight, but they are setting up for elimination next week from Kansas. Green flag next time around, fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 30 seconds. So it's come to this. Jamie Haynes has led every restart tonight, and he will do the same for this 4th restart of the evening. Green-white checkered attempt number 1 with the winless Haynes in control of the field. Jorge Rincon behind him. Tyler Bellinger going for his hat trick, and Jeff No racing for 2 straight gold medals. Green flag is out. 3 miles to settle it. Rincon spins the tires. Haynes leading a quarter of a second back to Jeff No. Tyler Bellinger said if Jamie gets a good restart, it's over, but the draft will come into play. Rincon looking for room wherever he can go. Is tonight the night? Jamie Haynes in the 5-3, winless for the first 15 rounds of the season. Ed in the chat cheering for the 5-3. White flag is out, 1.5 miles to go. 1/10 of a second now. Jeff No with Tyler Bellinger in tow. Jorge Rincon trying to side draft. He gets up to the 5-5 contact. 2/8 in the wall. His night is done. 5-3 on defense. 88 to the inside. Here goes Bellinger for the win. Jamie Haynes defends up the inside line. Tyler Bellinger will get to the inside, but he can't get a run, and it's finally here. Jamie Haynes wins at Charlotte. First win of the season. 15 long weeks, 15 strenuous weeks. Friends asking, when will you get the win? And it's finally arrived. The 5-3 of Jamie Haynes in round 3 of the playoffs has 1 foot in the final, and he wins race 3 of 5 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sam Harrell offering congratulations. Tyler Bellinger offering congratulations. It's a tight-knit group of friends. It really is. I'm friends with all of these guys. These guys are friends with each other. They come together for the passion of racing, and you do feel for your friends when they try and they can't get the win, and you can see the anxiety, the anticipation, and the frustration being melted out of those Goodyears. Jamie Haynes will celebrate as he should. He gets the gold medal, and on the last lap of the race, he ran his personal best, 30.53 4 seconds. The citizen of Concord, native to Stewart, Virginia, living 5 minutes away from the racetrack, will finally celebrate his well-earned victory. Jamie Haynes burns the house down in celebration. He wins at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have podium interviews in just a moment. On the podium now with our top three, 2 drivers from the great state of North Carolina on this podium. Let's talk to one of them right now, Mr. Sam Taylor in that number 1 Snap-on Chevrolet Silverado. Sammy, way to get that bronze medal, man. Where did that performance come from?
I mean, I guess you got to call it home track glory right there. I mean, I feel I didn't have the speed to be top 3. I probably had a top 5 truck. Didn't know how to save tires in the beginning, and then a couple cautions fell my way towards the end, and I just let everybody wreck in front of me and kept driving.
Next week, headed into Kansas. Is it going to be another podium for you? How do you feel about your confidence?
I hope so. Kansas is a good track for me. I like running the wall there. It's quick, fast, a lot of drafting. Hope I can back it up one more time.
We'll see you in 7 nights, man. Congratulations on 3rd.
Thank you, sir.
Tonight's silver medalist and one of our playoff hopefuls, Tyler Bellinger, in that double 8. 2nd place, Tyler. You couldn't quite seal the hat trick. What more did you need to get around the 5-3?
It was very fast all night. I knew Jamie was going to be the one to beat with a couple of the top guys missing tonight. I really needed that last caution to not come out because I was just getting under Jeff No, and I knew if I could get past him, I'd have a real good shot. Super fast on the short runs. And on that last restart, like I told you, I knew Jamie takes off. If I can't clear 2nd place out of 1 and 2, I was pretty much done for. Jeff was blocking hard and about spun him in 3 and 4 coming to the white, and was able to make a real aggressive move and get by him on the final lap, and just needed another lap or 2. But we had, I think, 6 to go on that second to last restart, and if I could have gotten that one to just stay green, I would have had a real good shot at it. But not upset to see Jamie win. Obviously, he's had a lot of 2nd place finishes this season, so good to see him knock that one out. But I really wanted to fight with him at the end of that one because we have good racing all season. But when him and I get side by side, we have an inside joke. We're always around each other on the track, and it would have been really nice to be side by side coming to the checker on that one.
Congratulations on that silver medal. We'll see you in 7 nights' time. Let's go to our race winner, North Carolinian citizen, native of Stewart, Virginia. You got love from a couple of places, and it's finally over after 16 attempts. Try number 17 goes to Jamie Haynes. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I mean, I've been in the booth plenty of times, and I tell you every time that I'm right there. I just, for whatever reason, I couldn't get it. So, if I had to pick one track to win at, this would absolutely be the one.
1 foot in the final next week at Kansas Motor Speedway. Can you carry this win to more dominance and eventually the championship round in Phoenix?
I think I can get to Phoenix. I'm sometimes hit or miss at Kansas, so I don't know. It depends. I'll have to see how it feels and everything. But I think if I can get to Phoenix, I should have a pretty good shot.
Special Ed in the chat says, didn't he call this last week? He did indeed say he was going to have a great shot to win at his home track, and here he is, top step of the podium, gold medal, and a reason to celebrate tonight. Jamie Haynes getting it done for all North Carolinians tonight. You're going to carry that win and unofficially a 3-point lead over Tyler Bellinger into the semifinal. Time to celebrate, Jamie. Congratulations.
Thank you, big guy. Appreciate it.
Another chapter of AER truck racing in the books next week from the Heartland. 7 days from now, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Rick James TV. We're taking the trucks to the Kansas Speedway to see who's going to make it and who will be left behind in the final. And to all the drivers next week, they will now have learned a very valuable lesson. Nobody beats Jamie Haynes 17 races in a row. And until that race next Monday night, fans at home, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we